Hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so let me show you the initial screen of SAP. So this is how your first screen. This is the first screen. Once you log into SAP, this is what you're gonna see in every system. So in every project, this is what you're gonna see. And in here, we have many icons. We have many things which are relevant and irrelevant too. So first, let's discuss about the topics that we have discussed till now. So what we have seen till now is, so we've seen what is a transaction code. So I told you that in order to navigate to any particular screen in SAP, we use transaction code. So here this is called as a command field on top left, the one that I'm highlighting here. This is called as a command field in which we'll use or we'll give our transaction code in order to navigate to that particular screen. So let me write it here. Command field. So this field is used to give the code in order to navigate to wide screen. So this here on top left where this is editable, this is called as a command field. So we've seen just now one keyboard, that is SEAT, which is used for Object Navigator, correct? So from here, if I give SEAT, enter, see it's taking me here. So this is my Object Navigator screen. You can see here it says Object Navigator, and here you see welcome to the ABAP workbench. So from here you can navigate to any of the ABAP related objects. So here I have shown you a few examples of package, program, table, etc. So here if you see there is a drop down here, it says package. So here and next to that there is an arrow mark here, this is a drop down. So once I click on this, see, all these are ABAP related objects. So these BSP applications are not related to us. Web Pro Internet Service is not related to us. But these development objects, package, program, function to function module, these are related to our ABAP objects. So if you see here, there is also a term called as a local object. So all the local, what is a local object? Any object that is created in a temporary package which cannot be transported to target systems is called as a local object. So here is that local object. So if you want to check any local object also, that you can see it from here. So this is our main screen from which we can navigate to any object that we want to navigate. So anyone has any doubts till now? Okay. So in terms of T codes, so there are a few what do we call shortcuts or shortcut additions to the T codes that we have to follow. Let's see shortcuts or extensions for T codes. So first is called /n plus T code. Then we have /o plus T code. Then we have /npx. So these are the most important shortcuts that we use in SAP. So first /n plus T code. What this means is, so here I'm giving my T code, right? I have given SE38 here. So before that, if I'm giving /n, this is one shortcut. If I'm giving /o, this is one shortcut. So what does my /n do exactly? It will replace the current session of SAP with new T code given in command field. Then what is /o? It will create a new session for the T code given in command field. So this /n means it will replace the current session of SAP with the new command that I gave from the command field. And /o instead of terminating, instead of closing the current session, it will create a new screen. It will open a new screen with the T code that I've given here. So let's see in live. For example, this is SC80. Let me go back to my initial screen, or you can use these shortcuts from any screen that you want to. For example, now I'm in the Object Navigator screen. So from here, if I give /n SE80, so if I'm giving this, see what happens. So this is again reloaded. I'm only having one screen. Okay, this might be a little confusing. So let me give any other T code. For example, if I give /n SE11, so see the current screen that we are in is the Object Navigator screen. If I'm giving /n SE11, SE11 is another again a T code. I'll tell you what exactly is SE11 when we go to the next chapters on the creation of the tables. But for now, just understand SE11 is a T code. So I'm giving /n SE11. See how the system behaves. See, it opened my ABAP dictionary from which I can navigate to few ABAP related objects. But see, it has terminated my current session. Object Navigator screen is not there anymore. So it replaced my Object Navigator screen with this screen. So again, let me show you. If I'm giving /n SE80, now I want to open SE80 Object Navigator again. See what it does. See, it replaced my SE11 with SE80. Again, I'm back to my SE80. So /n is used to terminate my current session and open the new command that I'm giving from this particular command field here. So then we have /o. So instead of /n, if I'm giving o here, see what happens. I'll give SE11. Enter. See, it took more to the SE11 screen, but if you observe here, see the Object Navigator screen is still there. So instead of replacing my Object Navigator screen, it opened a new session for my ABAP dictionary. So /n is used to replace the current session with a new session. /o is used to create new session without terminating the existing session. So I can give /o again, SE80. See, again it took me to the Object Navigator screen, but did it terminate my older screen SE11? No, it's still there. So without terminating this, it took me to the Object Navigator screen. So clear everyone on /n and /o, when to use slash and oh, is the screen stuck? Is it fine now? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I hope it's clear when to use /n and when to use /o. So /n is used whenever we want to replace the current session. /o is used whenever we want to create new session for a T code. Then how many sessions can I open in SAP? Is it possible to open infinite number of sessions? The answer is no. System will only allow you to open 6 sessions in parallel. That means if I'm logged into my development system, so this is the system ID S4H. So yesterday I told you, right, every system will have a system ID. So this system is having the system ID as S4H. In bracket you see 3. So 3 here means this is my third session that I opened. So if I go back to this screen, see my system ID is same S4H, but it says 1. That means this is my first screen, first session. This is S4H2. That means this is my second session. This S4H3. That means this is my third session. So let's see how many we can open. See, now it changed to S4H4. So it opened a new fourth session. I'll open again. So now I opened fifth session. Now I'm in my sixth session. So SAP will only allow you to have 6 sessions in parallel. See what happens if I try to open it again. Oh, it's opening. Okay, I'm guessing this is a test system. That is the reason you are able to navigate to more than 6 screens. But in real time, in project, you will not be able to open more than 6 screens in parallel. So the maximum limit is only 6 screens. So this is a test system. That is the reason it's allowing you to open. but project systems will never ever allow you to open more than 6 systems. So after opening 6 systems, 6 sessions, if you try to again open a new session, you will get a message here saying that maximum number of sessions are reached, so you will not be able to open a new session. So in that case, what you will do, you will need to close one session and open a new session for the new T code that you want to, or else you can do a slash n, replace the existing session. Clear everyone on this? Okay, so what we have seen is slash n is used to replace the existing session, slash o is used to create new session, and the maximum number of sessions that we can open in SAP is only 6. So beyond 6 we cannot open any sessions in SAP. Then the final shortcut slash n ex, it is used to exit from SAP. That means, so here I am logged into my 6 sessions. If you see, I have 6 sessions opened here. So with one command, I can directly log off from SAP, that is slash n ex. So if I give slash n ex here and click on enter, see all my sessions got terminated. I only have my login pad now. So let me log back in. So these credentials will be shared with you once your registration is complete. So once it's completed, I'll tell you how to navigate to this remote desktop and how to connect your SAP and all that. We'll have a separate session. But for now, we'll only discuss about the shortcuts. So see, again, I opened a new session. See, again, I got the system ID and here it says 1. So if I give again slash n ex, I currently have only one session. Slash n ex and enter, again it got terminated. So slash n ex is used to come out of your SAP. So it doesn't matter how many screens you have kept open, if you use the command slash n ex, all your sessions will be terminated. So clear everyone till this point, or anyone having any doubts? Okay, so let's just revise what we have learned today. So first we have seen what are the types of transports requests. So one is a workbench request and second is a customizing request. In workbench request, all the ABAP related objects will be saved. In the customizing request, any configuration or table entries will be saved, and most of the work that we do as an ABAP consultant is only on the workbench objects, workbench TR. So the objects are also called as workbench objects. The TR is also called as a workbench TR. So, and any configuration or any table entries that are maintained in the system will be done on the customizing TR. So we mostly will never work with customizing TR until and unless a request comes into you saying that please maintain this. Only then you'll create a customizing TR. If not, most of the scenarios, 90% of the cases, we will only work with workbench TR transport. Then what is a T code? Most important concept of SAP, T code. If we don't know what is a T code, you can never navigate to any screen in SAP. You will be stuck in this point only. You will not know where to navigate, what to do from here. The most important concept in SAP is the transaction code. Transaction code is used to navigate to any development object. That means we just seen, if I'm giving SE80, it took me to one screen. When I gave SE11, it took me to another screen. So in order to navigate to different applications in SAP, we'll use different T codes. So the T codes that I've used here are standard T codes again, because these are not starting with Z or Y. You see, if I remove slash O, it's starting with S. S is a reserved alphabet by SAP itself. So any alphabet that is in between A to X, that means it is a SAP developed object. So this is starting with this. That means this is a SAP. This is a T code given by SAP itself. Yeah. So and as an example, we've seen all the objects or all the T codes that are starting with SE followed by a number are all ABAP related T codes. So we have seen two T codes till now, right? So SE80 and SE11. So both of these are related to ABAP T codes. Then we have SM. SM is used to maintain the data in the database. So mostly it's related to maintenance work. So that is taken care by your functional team, not ABAP team, but functional team. We have few T codes which starts with SM2. We'll see a few T codes too as we proceed further. So these will be taken care by your functional team. Then what are all the types of transaction codes we have in the system? First is a standard transaction code. Second is a customizing transaction code. So any T code or any standard T codes is something that is created by your SAP. As an ABAPer, we will reuse it. What is meant by reuse? So here I'm using it to navigate to this particular screen. So this is called as reusing it. That means I'm only using it for my purpose to create something. But I will never ever go ahead and change this object. I will never go and change my standard T code. We will never do it. So we will only reuse the existing standard T codes, but we will never modify the standard T codes. Then customizing T code. Customizing T codes are created by the ABAP consultants and can be modified as per the requirement. For example, I've created a report. So from here, I've created a program. So for this program, I've created one T code as per the requirement. Now business comes in and tell me that okay, change something from this transaction code. I want the look and feel of this transaction code to be different. In those cases, you can modify your existing transaction codes. We will create and modify the existing transaction codes. Then we've seen what is a custom object and a standard object. So object is something that are there in the SAP. So we create the objects. So these are categorized into standard objects and custom objects. So standard objects are created by SAP, and we ABAP consultants should never change the standard objects, even though if it's allowing you. So in normal ECC systems, it will not allow you to change the standard objects, but in HANA system, it will allow you to change the standard objects. But that doesn't mean we should change it directly. We should never change. Although it allows us to change, we should never ever change standard objects. Then custom objects. So custom objects are created by ABAP consultant as per the business requirements. We can modify, we can create, we can delete custom objects. We can do any sort of operations on custom objects, but not on standard objects. We can only reuse the standard objects as per our requirement. Then how to identify the standard or custom object? So any object that is starting with Y or Z is a custom object, and any object that is starting with any letter from A to X other than Y and Z, it is called, they are all standard objects. So this is the key factor on how to identify your standard and custom objects. So always whenever we try to create any object, we will create it using Z or Y. And in most of the projects in real time, because most as per the current market situations, people only use Z. So for that reason, going further in our training also, we'll use only Z whenever we try to create anything in the system. So here if you say as an example, ZEMP, 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 Z sales, etc., etc. It doesn't matter what object that you're creating, be it a table, be it a program, be it a form, be it anything, be it a function module, be it a package. Anything should start with Z. Any custom object should start with Z. Then we have seen what is an object navigator. So object navigator, it is used to navigate to any workbench, ABAP workbench object. So this is the screen of the object navigator. This is how it looks like. So from here we can navigate to any of the ABAP related objects. So from these all are not ABAP related objects again. So as we proceed in the training, I'll tell you how many of these things come under ABAP repository. Don't worry, we'll not work on all these things. We'll only work on a few. So this is used as a central repository or a central point of entry to any ABAP related object, that is SEAT. SEAT is the T code to go to Object Navigator. Then we have seen what is a command field. Command field is the top left field that is enabled that from in where you can add your text like this. So which is used to add your text and is used to navigate to that particular application. So this is used to as an input for your transaction code. So this is where you enter your transaction code. After you enter it, it will take you to the respective application. Then we have seen a few shortcuts forever, or few shortcuts or extensions to our T codes. And again, this extension can be given to any T code, standard or custom, doesn't matter. It can be given to anything. So if I'm creating a, so now we have seen SE11 and SE80 with slash n and slash ex, right? So if I'm creating a custom object, then if I'm giving the custom T code name as ZSE80, so here I can also give like this slash n ZSE80 or slash n ZSE11. So I can give anything, but it should start with a Z. So these shortcuts will work with both custom and standard transaction codes. Then, yeah, slash n is used to replace the current session with the new T code that is given in the command field, and slash o is used to create a new session for the T code that you are giving in the command field. So these two, we should be knowing when to use what as per like if you want to replace the screen, then use slash n. If you want a new session to be open, then use slash o. And the maximum number of screens that can be opened in SAP in parallel is only 6. Is 6. So after this, you cannot open any new session. So after 6 sessions, if we try to create new session, then system will show a message stating maximum number of GUI sessions are opened. So yeah, since this is a test system, I'm not able to show you exactly how that comes up. But yeah, in general, in project, after 6 sessions, you'll get the message pop up here. You'll get a pop up message here that will say maximum number of GUI sessions are opened. So you can only open up to 6 sessions in SAP. So yeah, anyone are having any doubts regarding this? What we have discussed till now? So with this class, we complete the SAP introduction. So from the next class, we will see the development work. So once a chapter or a session is completed, you will receive the total documentation of it too. So this is how the total documentation will look like. Where is it? Let me see. 1 minute. Right, let me share back my screen. I hope it's visible. So yeah, so this documentation will be shared with you once the session is completed, in which all the topics will be highlighted in detail with whatever we have discussed till now. So for example, we have seen ERP introduction, how the architecture works, the functional areas, and where ABAP stands in between all these things, and what are the uses of the ERP, what is a client and what is a server. We've seen this in the second class, and the tier 3 architecture that we've seen in the third class, the presentation layer, application layer, database layer, the pictorial representation of how the data flows between these layers. So like this, the initial screen of basic command fields, transactions codes, everything will be there in your documentation itself, and this will be shared to you uh, over the drive. So anyone has any doubts or any concerns? Okay then, that's all for today. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining.